and welcome back to Skyward. My name's Adam and this channel is all about taking you on my journeys to getting my private pilot's license. I qualified back in May 2024 and at this point in my training we are kind of in the middle of the navigation side of things. So this lesson is James teaching me how to position myself using two VORs. The VOR stands for VHF omnidirectional range. It's a radio antenna which emits radio signals on 360 degrees. This allows the aircraft to understand which radial it is on, a radial being 1 degree to or from the antenna. In the plane we've got a radio navigation aid which allows us to see where the radial is, and we can intercept this, showing us where we are in relation to it. You'll see that we use two VORs in this lesson, which is useful because we can get the intersection of the two radials. So I'll get the radial from 1, and then that's the one that's not going to move as much. And then once we're on that, we'll take the radial from another, and then we'll draw a line, or two lines. Where those lines cross is an approximate location as to where we are, and we know that we'll most likely be along the line that we determined as the one that wasn't going to move as much. Using this, we can figure out roughly where we are and try and look for land features to help us. This is useful in cases where you're lost. Additionally, it can be used with a DME, which is distance measuring equipment. A lot of VORs also have this installed in them, which is another radio navigation aid that tells you how far away from the beacon you are. So the intersection that we've drawn on the map combined with the distance from the beacon, we can use this approximate location to find a more concrete location. It's quite an interesting day weather-wise because there was low fog over one of the adjacent areas to where we were flying today. Obviously we couldn't fly over it because of VFR reasons, but it was actually really beautiful to see a difference in the weather with low cloud like that. On the way back we were met with a surprise where we did a little bit of formation flying, so if you stick around to see that, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. If you're enjoying my videos, please subscribe and like the video and comment if you have any questions, and let me know where you're from, what stage you are in your flight lessons, or if you're already a qualified pilot. It'd be really interesting to see where you're all coming from. Let's get on with the video. I hope you enjoy.
As you can see, there's no wind really, which is good for us on this exercise. So.
Waltham radio, good morning. Golf Papa Foxtrot Kilo Delta, requesting radio check and effort information.
Kilo Delta, Waltham radio. Good morning, your 529 the right-hand circuit, London QNH 10.
Yeah, the jets are coming in this way, and we're going that way.
QNH 1022, Golf Kilo Delta.
Interesting, isn't it, really?
Golf Tango Oscar, landing up on 29, right.
You see there's always a variation in the wind.
Golf Yankee non-standard, left turn on departure. Waltham radio, this is Golf Kilo Delta. Can you confirm QNH 1022?
Negative, London QNH 1033.
1022. Thank you.
3-3, Gunner, 3-3.
033, Golf Kilo Delta.
Is that someone you work with? Or?
Yeah, no, he's one of the engineers, but he's flying one of the aircraft over there, but 2233 sounds very similar. Okie dokie, so we'll depart up the railway line. Tango Oscar departing railway line to the west. There we go, just lower the nose a little bit there, just to get it accelerating, and you can put the flaps up whenever you're happy. Once we clear the village of Waltham on the left and Waltham St Lawrence, we'll then head out towards Sierra. And we'll probably sort of maybe orbiting there for a little while we're just sorting out what we're doing. Identifying, making sure the nav aid's usable. Just keep an eye out for that Yankee departed earlier on. Got one here? Yeah, got one there. There's also one departing, so just keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, can't see him.
Okay, no worries. we'll level off at about 2,000 feet. We'll turn the fuel pump off, we don't need that. I'll tell you what, we'll just track more towards Sierra just to get away from them, because he's probably going out to the west. Yeah, just a bit there. As you can see, it's quite a hazy day. It was quite hazy earlier this morning, it's got slightly better. So the higher we go, the better the range is on a VOR. As you can see, those nav flags disappeared here, but we've got the ILS one there, which means there's nothing untoward with the instrument. So we still have to select, identify and display the nav aid, but we'll do that once we get to 2,000 feet. Just keep an eye on the climb, just lower the nose occasionally, just so we can see over the nose. You can see there's a little bit of fog in the valleys on the right there. If we try to identify Daventry now, we're probably a little bit too far away to get a decent ident of that nav aid. But before we use any nav aid, we have to select it, we have to identify and display the nav aid. Make sure we can use it. Sometimes they turn it offline and they can spell the word test in Morse code, which instantly tells you, no, we can't use it.
Okay. What's E? So we've got the T, it's just a dash.
Yeah.
What's an E?
E, oh, I wouldn't know that.
Oh yeah, it's on there.
E is dot. Nice and
Okay,
easy. Nice and
dash,
easy. Alright, so we're just coming up to Sierra fairly soon. So in relation to the beacon, we're south a bit at the moment, or sort of southeasterly. So we know we've got to turn northerly. There's traffic on the right, you see him?
Yep.
That's it, just level off there for us, Adam. Hopefully he'll pass over the top of us, just level her off there. Going behind the aeroplane. Okay, right, if I have control, because I'd like you to select and identify and display the nav aid. We're going to orbit over Sierra while we do this, okay? So, first thing to do, we're going to identify Compton. So we've got Compton here.
Okay.
We can identify that, press the button, and we'll just turn the volume up, and we can listen to the ident. Takes a bit of time, remember it's on a loop. Yep, so that's Charlie, you hear it again.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll let you
that was quick.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Yep,
cool.
that's it, so turn that off there. Look at the nav aid.
Yep.
Is it sensible readings? We know we've got that little flag, but the other one's disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to track the 270 radial to Compton, okay? So we need to move the OBS around to 270, and you see it's gone to 2 now. Yep. And that's telling us that the actual radial is out on the right hand side, which sort of figures with sort of situation awareness. So I'm now going to turn to do a 90-degree cut to that VOR. So I'm going to turn the long way round to give us a bit more time to intercept.
I was going to say, surely we should be going that way.
We can do, but I'm just going to make this a better exercise for both of us.
Okay.
And it'd be a bit more easier for us to intercept. So we're going to do a 90-degree cut, because we're so close to that radial. And I'm going to just turn basically north. Now normally you would turn west, the same as the radial, and see where that beam bar is, but we know where it is in relation to the aeroplane. So I'm now going to roll onto a northerly heading. Now if you had a stonking wind behind you, the needle would probably come in very quickly. Now it's naturally telling you it's the wrong side, but that will come in as we track to it. Okay, so we're just making sure we're clear of the air traffic zone and everything like that. So it's out on the left, Compton, and we're just going to see what happens. We're more or less 90 degrees to the radial itself. Okay, do you want to take control?
Yep,
and we're just going to fly this heading for the time being, but we're going to watch this beam bar. At the moment it's all the way out on full deflection to the right, which is sort of with figures. Now if you want to know where you are in relation to it, you could say, you can move this round and just say, well actually, it works. There we are, front flag shows us that we are on the, we're getting very close to it actually, so we'll go back onto 27. When it starts to twitch, we'll start to turn onto a westerly heading. And then we allow for the wind as well. We're then going to fly left, fly right to the beacon and then see what happens on the way out.
Okay.
Okay. So you can see it's starting to move now, Adam, you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when it gets to about maybe 2 little notches, that's 4 degrees, and that means we just do a nice rate 1 turn to the west. It's telling you now that the radial's out on the right, but you're coming in and you're just intercepting it.
Uh-huh.
It's fairly straightforward as long as you know where you are in relation to that beacon. That's the secret. Okie dokie, so nice medium level turn. Maybe just a rate 1. Nice gentle rate 1. I'm hoping we'll be almost on it by the time we get to it. If we don't get on it, maybe, yeah, visual, yeah. So what I would probably suggest, let's go 30 degrees from it, because we're not just there yet.
Okay, cool. What's that?
Is it level or?
No, that's it's a balloon?
Oh, it's a balloon, yeah.
A 3 balloon, I think.
Yeah. There's an aeroplane on the right there, yeah. So we're just doing to go to about 300 degrees, because that'll get us, because we're only about a couple of degrees from the deflection, so we just turn slightly early for that. See how we can do either 90, 60 or 30, depending on where you are in relation to that radial. Furthest away, 90 is the quickest way to get you back onto that radial. So this is on Compton as well, and it's telling us we're only 10 miles from the beacon. So remember, 5 miles from the beacon, it gets into what we call the cone of confusion, whether it's telling you false information essentially.
Okay.
So just come out to 1 degree, just gently start turning onto the heading.
Speaking of confusion, fog really.
Yeah, it is quite extensive down the valley into Whitchurch on Thames, and
Yeah,
back onto there we are. Now it doesn't allow for the wind up here, so what I would suggest we do is, yeah, it's just coming in now, so I would probably allow a little bit to the right for now. So we're right for airspace now, so don't worry about that too much. And it literally says fly right, fly left of the centre, but make it small little corrections. Remember, situation awareness is really important. We're only, can you see that? It's only 8.8 miles and decreasing, which means we're going towards the beacon. Did you get it so far?
Yep.
Cool. And we're going to see what happens when we go over the top. So when we go over the top within 5 miles, we're just going to literally fly 270.
Okay. I think the biggest thing for me at the minute is just knowing where everything
that's
is.
It, yeah. If you just go back onto west now, and we'll just fly that heading for the map, because there's no wind whatsoever today. Another day it could be, it's starting to go through again.
Yeah.
So,
cool, so we should be right on.
yeah, it should be right on, but we also allow a little bit for the wind. Yeah, so the trick is not to overcompensate too much, otherwise you're chasing needles all the time. Yeah, it's quite extensive. All the way, look, as far as the eyes can see, you got fog.
Jesus.
I know.
I've never seen fog from above like this.
It's pretty cool. But look, into sun, it's shit. It's really hazy. Really hazy. So, if you were to do an IRR or an IMC or an IR multi or whatever, as you get close to the beacon, you just double check that it hasn't gone offline, the VOR. So it's saying here we're going left, so we need to go left a little bit more. Yep, so it's still online. Because if you approach the beacon, it's the critical point. So not too much, otherwise you're going to be chasing it. So it's only 10 degrees either side of the heading that you want. So we've got 6 miles. Within another mile, we'll be going into that cone of confusion sort of thing. So we're all clear on the Chilterns. It's just on the Vale, really foggy. You can see Didcot with the tab. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I love these sort of days.
Yeah.
Right, so now it's dead on, so we need to go back onto the westerly heading. You see how we're sort of chasing it a little bit, but the idea is to keep that beam centrally vertical in the middle.
Yeah.
So back onto that westerly heading. Remember, we're only 5 miles from the beacon now, so all we need to do now is fly 270, and we need to go through the beacon, out the other side. Let's see what happens. That's going to probably go to the front flag. That'll all go all over the place. And then after 5 miles going away from it, we can then start using this again if we wanted to. And that's where we're going to fix our position.
Okay.
Using 2 of the VORs.
Can you see them on the ground?
You can do. You can see the aerials mostly. I'll point them out if there's no fog on it. But I think it's probably pretty clear off. It's pretty cool, hey?
Yeah.
I like that. All the way up to Bryce. All the way along the ridge here. There you go, 4 miles. So just keep on this westerly heading, Adam. That'll be great. And then we've got Daventry here, so we can always pre-empty it while we're waiting. There's no nav flags. We can identify that nav 2. That's the volume for it. So I'll just put that on there. That's the DME. If we hear Delta Tango Yankee. It's a bit faint actually, I think the signal.
Is it going?
Hear the clicking? Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
With the tuned ear, it's...
Yeah.
If you were closer to the beacon up there, you'd be okay and be able to hear it clearer, but quite a long way. We're a good 50 miles away from it. But there's no nav flags here. And then we can find out in a moment where we are in relation to the radial. But we're going to get clear of the 5 mile cone of confusion around Compton first before we start using it. If I wanted to change this to the ADR, the DME, 1164 is Compton. We just pull that knob out and we get pull my own knob out, but that's showing you 40 miles from the beacon.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you put that into the middle with the front flag, yeah, which we know we're south of the beacon, it's telling us that we're on about the 180 radial at 40 miles.
Okay.
So if you don't have DME, you can do a cross cut, but we'll have a practice that in a sec.
Yeah.
You can see that's gone way off to the left now.
Yeah.
And if I just change that back to 114...
It'll probably start increasing again, right? After we go past
yeah,
it.
because we're going away from the beacon now. So there you go. You're right over the top of it. So it's
So
right
it's over
below.
here somewhere.
Can you see the old airfield below? Just below us here. Can you see the little white aerial? Just literally below the aeroplane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I see it.
That's the aerials there. And if you imagine each one of those will shoot out a beam.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can't use this VOR until we're actually past 5 miles again, and then we can start using it as a tool if we need to.
Okay.
And that's where we're going to literally sit and orbit while we do the fix.
Okay.
And I want you to draw the lines as well. We're going to do worst case scenario, as if we only got one VOR and no DME. You want to do a quick freedom check for us, just to make sure all is well? It's pretty cool with the fog down there this morning, it's great.
Yeah.
Being so cold, it's going to be very stubborn to clear very quickly, and there's more out to the southwest there. It's quite extensive. I think nowhere north is good today. I think Turweston would be out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So there's light winds today. So yeah, so that's off there. That's going away because obviously we're changing the radial from the north, and you can see we are going west. So that you can sort of, if we can just grab your map. I'll just take control a second. Then you can see that we're actually sort of going like that away from the beacon.
Yeah.
And it's changing. So it looks pretty sort of common sense, really. Yeah, that's really cool. That all the Vale of the White, there's the Vale of the White Horses along here. So it does look a bit like a giraffe these days. They don't really look after it, but there's a white horse on the edge of the escarpment on the right, which quite nice.
So we could also use this and check this. So if we wanted to see how far away from there we are.
That's right. Remember, we're only 3 miles, so it's not going to be giving you a very good fix here, but that'll be fixed there.
But we can kind of say we're roughly
about 280 radial on the front flag.
About
at 3 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So we can say we're about here.
Yeah, that's it. But if we didn't have that, we could use a fix using the Daventry one as well. So in a moment we're going to just literally, you take control again there, and let's see what happens. When we get to about 5 miles, it gets a little bit easier to use. That's why I say just deadhead the heading that you need until you've gone past the 5 mile window, and then you can start using it again. So you can see how we were intercepting the 270 it was on the 2 flag, it's gone to the front flag, we've gone past the beacon.
So why is from more confusing, you were saying earlier?
It gives you reverse sense of what you're...
So if it's off to the left, you turn to the right?
Yeah, and it can screw your situation awareness a little bit. That's why I only say, track 2 is much easier to follow. The prompt is good to fix your position. The prompt means you're on a radial. all we have to do is just draw a line. So, we're over the 5 miles now, Adam, so we'll just double check that they're all okay. So we'll go through the process. So first of all, we'll use the one that doesn't change too much, i.e. Compton. So identify that. Make sure that's up on the volume. Yeah, so that's good. Make sure there's no nav flags.
Okay.
Then you want to move your beam bar until it's centrally in the middle with the front flag showing. That's the important thing. So now you're on the 280 radial from Compton. So grab your map. I take control a second.
In control.
And I want you to draw 270 radial. Just draw a line straight out from the centre of the VOR compass row.
27 or 28?
28s, yeah, sorry.
Nice. The notches are hidden by words.
Yeah, I know. It'll be easy on the other one. I hope.
Did you say from Compton?
Yeah, from Compton,
Right.
so from there, so that's it. So whatever you think, 27, okay, be 27 or north or whatever.
Yeah.
Now we'll repeat the exercise with the other one. So
Okay.
just go to comms and nav, slightly different. There you are, I've got Compton. No nav flags, but let's identify that.
So what? How do you know which of these is it? This nav 1, this nav?
Yeah, it always works from top to bottom.
Okay.
So in this particular case, that's com 1, nav 1, that's com 2, nav 2.
Cool.
So we'll go nav 2, identify it. We might, if I just climb, we might get a better signal. I'll just climb up to 3.
And then this relates to this one, this is for this one.
You hear the clicking? We'll wait for the next one. You hear that? So that corresponds with the Morse code. So we're quite away from it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go one more time.
Yeah.
That seemed a lot longer than what I've got here, but...
Right, just try that again. Yeah, that's it. I can hear
Okay.
the last 2 dashes at the end.
Where did you
So-
set 116.4?
1164
On the C, okay,
on
right.
here.
Right, got it.
And then make sure there's no flags, that will always be up. But the other one at the bottom signifies we can use it. So then we're just going to twiddle that until that's in the middle. We've got the front flag already, so just move that OBS around until it's in the centre. Probably to go the other way.
Oh, well.
It's alright. Front flag is important.
From?
Yeah. From means you're on that
Okay,
radial.
right, we'll keep
That's
going
it.
this way.
Let's see where we are. So that's telling you what, 195?
This is where you asked me to draw the line.
Yeah, just draw the line, so where they intersect, that's brilliant. Now while you're doing that, I'll just put the DME on as well.
Okay.
It's telling you you're 43.6 miles. So if you wanted to measure that as well, that's another way of sort of refining where you are.
Cool. So we're about there.
Yeah, so where are we?
A couple of miles from, well, not a couple of miles, but about 10 miles from Membry.
Okay, so remember we travelled a little bit since we last did the fix. We've got a little town here, and if we look to the south, there's probably going to be Membry. So this is probably Lambourne down here. So if we did that with Damtree again, I'll just rolling out so we're not going too far away. So we're on the 200 radial at 43 miles.
On the
About 200 radial.
200, okay.
Yeah, because that is equating to that. Now in another aeroplane it might be completely different sort of setup.
Yeah, no, that's bang on.
Cool. So that is telling you you're more or less in line with Lambourne. You see, the quicker you do it, the more refined where you are.
And so that's why you don't change where you're heading, because you'd go off
orbit, yeah, because if you travelled, by the time you've done one, your position's already changed quite significantly, especially if you've got a strong wind, you know.
Okay, cool. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's quite cool out here, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to have a little look at it.
Sure.
Yeah, you got control. Cool. So if I wanted to, we'll use Daventry as we got it set up. If I wanted to track, let's say because we sort of found out that we're roughly 90 degrees to the cut. Let's say if I wanted to go track north on the radial, so we get the 2 flag there. We know it's off on the right, so it's telling us off on the right. We then intercept it by a 90 degree cut. Then watch that beam bug.
So we'll turn to the east, right?
To the east, yeah.
Okay.
You first of all set that up, then you turn to the heading that you want the radial to track, work out where it is in relation to it. And then just see, we won't actually intercept it because we're probably quite a long way from it. I'll tell you what, we'll try, let's see where we are in relation to it in a moment. We're probably quite a long way off. So from flag, we said we were at 190, so if we could try 03. No, 33. I just don't want it to wait a long time for it to come in.
Yeah.
So it's just starting to go there. So we'll go 300, let's say.
Turn a bit more?
That's fine.
Oh,
that's fine.
okay, yeah.
It's quite an extreme that, but then that would start coming in quite quickly.
Yeah.
And then we just turn on to 030 and then track for the wind, tracking towards it. We won't go too far because obviously we're right on the edge of this fog.
So I guess it's not VFR over there because you can't see the surface.
You can't see the surface. You're not inside the surface at all. You know, we looked at the actuals and it was all marginal IFR, which is right down to bare minimum. Even the jets would have to do low vis procedures to go in there. But just fog is very low lying, so it's it's hugging the ground and on the lowest part. Obviously it's clearer but really hazy here. So it's a game of two halves here, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Benson was completely fogged over earlier on. So another way to get yourself out of trouble, as well as radio navigators, was an ADF. And we'd identify the ADF, and the needle would just point to the beacon itself. And you literally just fly the aeroplane so the needle's at the top of the head and fly towards it. And we can't do that obviously in this aeroplane. When we get an aeroplane that has it, we'll have a little go.
Oh, and then when you're over it, orbit it, work out where you are.
No, you literally point and fly.
No, when you're there, you know where you are.
Yeah,
so then you can work out.
You can work out from there and don't point on the ground. Now another thing is the 430 has got a direct to function. So we've got the D with the arrow, like that, and we're going to go direct to Waltham in this case. So we have to scroll through the ICAO code for Waltham. What is it? Do you remember?
GLM.
And then so we're going to go to L. This has got anything in this database you can go to. So you can go to Charlie Papa Tango if you wanted to, or Booker, or something like that. Anywhere that you need to divert to, for example. There we are. So then we just press enter, and it says down here, do you want to activate it? Yes, we do. And it's basically a still air heading. Let me zoom back in again, so you can see that the distance is just under 23 nautical miles. The track is 096, so we'll try 096. Obviously that doesn't allow for the wind.
Yeah.
And
096.
Yep, and our ground speed's 88. So using our, basically we could work out that it's obviously going to be less than 22. It's going to be probably about 15 minutes. So we can put the timer on, off we go.
Okay.
We've about 15 minutes to get home. So it's a nice way of using the navigator to hand to sort out where you are, how to get out of it. Now, further that, you still get yourself confused and you're not sure, you can always call up 1215, London Centre. It would be a pan, student golf Yankee Tango Oscar. Unsure of my position, last known position was this. Request a steer for White Waltham or a steer for Turweston or whatever. Okay.
Do they give you any other information like winds, where you are?
They
or?
can do. They will help you as best they can, and they're bloody good. And there's no harm in calling them at all. And they will help you out. They will steer you to your airfield until you are comfortable. You can find your airfield, and then from there on in, you're you can actually stay with them until you land the airplane if you want to. They're really, really good. And all they do, the reason you say pan, and very slowly is they're fixating on your radio transmission to triangulate where you are, and then they are going to work and help you out.
And this doesn't have an ident, does it? So
you can just put it on. They'll probably give you a squawk code if they can.
Yeah.
But if you're completely frazzled by anything, then they'll probably triangulate on your radio transmission. It's really modern stuff. It really is.
So with regards to this, if I went off, because I'm going slightly to the left.
If I zoom in, it's going slightly off, which
so
means
it draws a line. It doesn't point. It doesn't paint a line.
It doesn't point. You have to allow for the wind. So if you wanted to get it back, again, just press direct 2 again. It's still on white Waltham. Activate. Just press enter twice again, and it gives you the new heading.
But yeah, what I was trying to work out is if this changed, if I went off track, but it doesn't.
No, it will stay the same.
From where
the magenta line will change. Yeah. So let's. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. Tracking back home. Actually, that little fog band's gone a little bit further south. Actually, yeah, gone over the hill. Well, one out here. What's that? You got an aeroplane?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can see it's all like little fingers. They sort of come down the valley and stuff. It's pretty cool, really.
So this is probably Chiltern Hills.
Yeah, this is Chiltern's here. So we're just probably north of the beacon, but we can find that out, couldn't we? So, you know, if I go back to 11435, we're only 2 miles. We're not far away, so it's very difficult to sort of tell us where we are. We could have moved that round. We're probably north of the beacon. Yeah, there we are. So we are on about the 330 radial, and changing all the time because we're just passing down the northern side of it. It's probably out on the right wing there now. Yeah, this is just the edge of the Aylesbury Vale. So Benson's out in the fog down there. It's pretty cool when you're up here, it's nice, and everyone else is not able to fly, and you're up here. But it's extensive. It goes.
Yeah.
This is all Didcot. You got. It's a combination of the haze as well, so it might have cleared like somewhere like Gloucester.
Well, so if you flew over it, there might be like patches.
Patches, yeah, but difficult to sort of tell.
Yeah. But if you're higher, you could probably see, right?
Yeah. But
it looks clear over there.
Yeah. So it's just little fingers of areas of fog around. Does everything make sense so far?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Now, one other thing you can do is to verify a fixed point on the ground, and we're going to use White Waltham to do that in relation to Compton.
Okay.
Now Compton, there's a radial that White Waltham is in line with, and it's the 095 radial. So we're going to put 095 radial on here. At the moment it's not going to tell us anything at the moment. When we get into the overhead of White Waltham, this should be from, and this should be in the middle. Now we've also got Compton here, and the distance from Compton is 16.5 miles. So when we're over top of White Waltham, if that shows 16.5 and that's in the middle, we know that this is White Waltham below us.
Okay.
A great way of doing it. If you look at the Poogley's guide, at the top they'll give a radial and a DME from radio nav aids around. I'll show you. Remind me when we get back and I'll show you.
Okay. And if not, you can just measure it before you go anywhere. Or when you're in flight, I guess.
Yeah. So we're just transferring back. So there's Hampstead Norwich just behind the right aileron. So we're just slightly north of the field. Maybe by 2 miles.
Yeah.
That's what 2 miles looks like. So what I would suggest we do is we're gonna fly a heading. So about 130 roughly, I think would be good for us to track back. Airspace is good for now. Out here it's 5.5 going down to 4.5. So we're at 2.3 and we're okay. Artificial horizon's completely buggered. Yeah, the whole thing. When I flew earlier on with Nick, we were level and the artificial horizon was at that. Oh my god, great.
And this is an IFR aircraft, right?
Not at the moment. Yeah, if that was
yeah.
fixed, we could use it, but we haven't got many aeroplanes, so you can't fly this thing at night because the artificial horizon buggered. So we've got very few aeroplanes to fly at night. You can see the River Thames coming up now. You got Reading on the nose there. Lovely and still though. It's literally on the edge of Oxford and around.
Yeah.
I think Oxford's probably clear by now, but it's taking a long time. It's midday now. But amazing, isn't it, really? so we'll head back to probably Point Whiskey or November, and then we'll head back and just do a couple of circuits for currency for you if you want to.
Yeah, that'd be good.
4 miles. 9 left, 455.
Traffic on your left, you got a visual?
Yeah, visual.
Just keep that descending, we'll keep away from him.
Reduce speed 180 knots, shuttle 19 Mike.
Looks like a Tiger Moth. Can I just take control?
Yeah, control.
Good, that's speed when established, you can descend on the glide.
Oh, there's Nigel. Nigel Lemon flying this Moth. We're going to say hello. Sorry, I'm being a bit bored. Nothing worse than a bored instructor, is there? You still got him now, I've lost him.
Yeah, he's
He's coming after us as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
He'll probably win because he's got a better wing loading than we have.
060 degrees, red legs are established, same glide, 9 left, 38607.
Where is he, still there?
Yep, he's here.
Oh yeah. Well, we can sort of outpace him with the speed, but manoeuvrability is much better for him. Where is he? He's turning.
Yeah, he's right here. Yeah, Jesus, that's a tight turn.
Yeah, it's very good. Oh, there he is. We're just going formate on him, sorry.
457, turn right heading 360 degrees, right heading 360.
So we've gone back to 80 knots and he's still not trying to catch us up.
18, connect tower on 1.705, goodbye.
Tower 118.705, we should move, we'll see it.
Give it a bit of formation. Do you want to take a picture? He'd like that. Let's turn his back to Waltham. Nice, he's having a bit of fun flying it. He's in a formation display team, so he's pretty good at what he does.
Stopping right there, vacated. Chipmunks rolling runway 29. Shot Charlie Echo,
Nice.
ATZ, fully overhead join at 1,200 feet from November.
Oh, never mind, run a tight downwind, copy the traffic light.
Welcome back. It's 29 right hand circuit for the fixed wing, QSE 1028.
Right, we'll just open it up and go home. Had a bit of fun.
Right, for departure.
Golf Tango Oscar overhead.
Always make sure you're at 1200 in the overhead, Adam, because it's easy to go up here.
Golf Tango Oscar descending dead side.
They are at 16.5, more or less on 095. It works. All the bollocks I've been talking about, it does work a little bit. So when we fly the circuit, we fly around the village on the left, but don't worry, that's fine. We're cool at the moment. It's only when you go into the circuit, do a touch and go, and that's all I'll worry about. Okay, nothing else coming from the left. I think that Bulldog's departed to the west. Here we go downwind.
Along
Just
November Mike, we're just going to do one circuit. Are you still intending to change to 07 or are you happy for us to do it on 29?
Negative 29 is in use.
I did 29 right hand, Golf November Mike.
Right, downwind checks.
Oh, rings are good, mixture's rich, copy is hot, fuel pump is on, doors, harnesses,
Radio Golf Zulu.
good.
Welcome back, 29.
There's no wind really, so you probably want to get ahead of the game and get the aircraft configured. Bit early.
Remember
November Mike Waltham, were you intending to do a circuit?
Just one circuit on 29, yes, so they were talking about changing runway, but if you're happy for me to do it on 29, I can stay here.
As long as you do a low approach and go around, we're only doing training circuits.
Okay. A bit close, or is that?
Nah, that's good.
Golf Tango Oscar, base leg 429.
He says no wind at all.
Golf Tango Oscar turning final 29.
I'll do your flaps on the touch and go, Adam, alright?
Okay.
You've got one more stage if you want it. As you come over the hedge, you're on about 65 with nil wind. And we're always high if there's no wind, as you can see.
Yeah.
So just shove the nose a bit forward, that's it. That's it, not too much power.
Anytime.
Yep. Well, we had a little bit fast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, off we go, full power. Just get it off the runway, that's it. Once she's off, she's out of the drag. So just landing a little bit long because you had a bit of excess energy there. So remember, 65. And it should settle down alright next time.
Okay.
Cool. There we go, that'll do. This red sided house here, we just keep this on our right hand side.
Okay.
Worst case, we had an engine failure, which below the nose, pick a field ahead, 75 if we can get it. Laps up when you're happy. Yeah, there's a short haul and a long haul there. They're really getting close together, all getting quite busy now, aren't they, at Heathrow? Yeah.
I don't like right hands.
They're terrible. Unfortunately, we have to do it. So just roll out there. Because the way you're turning the airplane, we can go straight into the village, which is a bit of a no-no. Level off there. Start turning now. Nice gentle turn around to the right. The touchdown was nice. Just remember to bring it a little bit closer to us.
Yeah.
So we're not landing too far down the field. But that's classic nil wind or light winds, variable winds. Tango Oscar, downwind to land, 29. Right, downwind checks when you're ready.
Right, yeah, Golf Kilo Tango, UL 91.
It's hot mixture, 3-inch.
Wings level's always good.
Fuel pumps
Roger,
on.
we've got that. They're coming as soon as they can.
Harnesses good, doors good.
Yep, all good here. We should see another aeroplane ahead of us, maybe base leg.
So, yeah, he was going down somewhere.
Yeah, got him. Yeah, I think he's just turning far. There is just there on the right.
Oh, yeah.
You might want to start slowing it down because we're sort of catching him up a little bit. It's everything going quite fast. You just raise the nose a little bit to get the speed back, and then just check your limitation of the flap extension.
Got the bike, final 29.
Get it all trimmed out. My tummy's rumbling. I think I might have some soup or something when I go back. So as you're on the approach, you come over the hedge, you want to be at the speed, the target speed that you want to be at, especially nil wind. If you don't want to be fast or too slow or whatever, just right.
Golf Tango Oscar turning final 29 to land.
Golf November Mike indicated the active.
There you go. So in theory the numbers shouldn't really change too much as you come down the approach. Almost treat it like a glide every time. Good, you can see that fucking field looks like a bloody bog, doesn't it? Keep the stick back, just let it roll a little bit, and then we'll just put a little bit of braking on it if we get a bit closer to it. Let's put the flaps up so we don't get too muddy. There we go. Yeah, so the idea when you go on the approach is those numbers shouldn't really change too much as you come down. That's good. The nil wind is a bit of a bugger, isn't it?
Yeah.
The aeroplane isn't.
Golf Alpha X-ray ready for departure.
There's the Tiger. That's really cool, actually. Do you want to send them to me?
Yeah,
You're on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll WhatsApp you. I'll pester you later. We'll just do it
Golf
now.
Alpha X-ray lining.
That's all we've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you learned something. I certainly did. If you are enjoying my content, please think about subscribing, like the video, and leave a comment if you have any questions about anything, and let me know where you're from, what you're up to in your flight lessons, and whether you're a qualified pilot or not. I'll see you next time.